Heart rate and respiratory rate system introduction. The heart and respiratory rate monitoring system, powered by EarlySense, is designed to provide continuous, contact-free measurement of heart and respiratory rate. The Centrella bed's GCI touchscreen shows numerical heart and respiratory rates, as well as graphical data of trends of these parameters over 7 days. The system will sound an alarm to notify the caregiver when the heart rate or respiratory rate passes above or below the user-identified thresholds. Heart rate and respiratory rate system overview. The heart rate and respiratory rate monitoring system is an optional application on the Centrella Smart Plus bed. You can tell if your bed is activated by looking at the Graphical Caregiver Interface, or GCI, at the bedside. If the heart and lung icon is illuminated, your monitoring system is active. Once a patient is placed in the bed, the system begins to monitor both heart rate and respiratory rate within 1 to 2 minutes after the patient lies quiet and still. The measured data is continuously saved and can be viewed on the GCI touchscreen. New patient, reset heart rate and respiratory rate data. With the Centrella bed, new patient 0 resets heart rate and respiratory rate settings and clears all collected monitoring data, as well as trend data. From the GCI home screen, select the scale icon in the navigation menu. Then select 0. Follow the reminder screens on the GCI touchscreen to place all standard linen and items, including the patient pendant control, on the bed. If the bed is not in the required bed position for zeroing, you will hear a triple beep and additional directions appear on the touchscreen. Use the caregiver controls to adjust the bed or press and hold the Adjust Bed button on the touchscreen until you hear the single beep confirming the bed is in the required position. Select Continue and let go of the bed. When 0 is complete, you will hear a single beep and the message Ready for New Patient appears on the touchscreen. To return to the home screen, touch the screen. You are now ready for a new patient. Turning heart rate and respiratory rate display on and off. To toggle the heart rate and respiratory rate monitoring display on the GCI on or off, first select the heart rate respiratory rate icon on the home screen. Next, press Display. Then select either Yes or No and choose Accept to finalize your adjustment. Viewing heart rate and respiratory rate trend screen. To view the heart and respiratory rate trend screen, first press the heart rate respiratory rate menu control on the home screen. Next, press Trends. You will be prompted with a warning to not use the trends data as a sole source for clinical decision-making or in place of current vitals collection protocols. In addition, it will provide a reminder of all the various icons that make up the trend screen. Press Accept. Once in the trend screen, you will have the option to select the various time views. The default setting for trends is 8 hours. Changing heart rate and respiratory rate alarm thresholds. To access the heart rate respiratory rate alarm threshold screen, first select the heart rate respiratory rate menu control on the home screen. The default settings for the heart rate alarm thresholds are low 40 beats per minute and high 130 beats per minute. The minimum potential alarm setting is 35 beats per minute, while the maximum setting is 150 beats per minute. The default settings for the respiratory rate alarm thresholds are low 8 breaths per minute and high 32 breaths per minute. The minimum potential alarm setting is 8 breaths per minute, while the maximum setting is 44 breaths per minute. To make adjustments to the default settings, press the number for the alarm threshold that you want to change. Once selected, 2 arrows will appear on each side. Use the up and down arrows to make desired adjustments. If any changes are made to the default thresholds, a red box will show indicating a change has been made. Heart rate and respiratory rate alarms overview. Alarms are used to notify caregivers of situations that may require attention. Visual and audible alarms occur when the heart rate or respiratory rate averaged over time passes above or below the user-defined threshold. If the system is equipped with an alarm, the following will occur. An audible alarm will sound if enabled. A yellow corresponding alarm on the touchscreen will show. A message will show on the bottom of the touchscreen to describe the alarm and the time since the alarm was activated. If the bed is equipped and connected to a nurse call system, a priority nurse call is sent to the nurse's station. For beds that are equipped with the SafeView Plus system, the foot end icon will show the following status. A white light indicates monitoring system is ready. A green light indicates a patient is currently being monitored. And an amber flashing indicator will show when a threshold is exceeded. The clinical alarms include high or low respiratory rate alarm. A message shows when the respiration rate is above or below the high or low alarm thresholds. High or low heart rate alarm. A message shows when the heart rate is above or below the high or low alarm thresholds. Lost patient signal. This message shows when the sensor cannot detect the patient's signals. Check the patient and sensor location. Unstable signal. This message shows when the sensor cannot continually detect the patient. Consider using an alternative monitoring device. Bed sensor error. This message shows when the sensor malfunctioned or the sensor is disconnected. Heart rate and respiratory rate alarm silence or suspend. Heart rate and respiratory rate alarm can be silenced or suspended. The silence or suspend control allows the caregiver to temporarily stop alarms from being sent to the bed and/or nurse call systems. When the suspend control is pressed, the yellow alarm message will show and suspends the alarms for 15 minutes. A timer will show at the bottom of the touchscreen that will count down from the time of the alarm. After 15 minutes, suspend mode will stop and the system will resume monitoring the heart rate and respiratory rate. Heart rate and respiratory rate sensor expiration. The early sense sensor that is used to monitor heart rate and respiratory rate must be replaced after 1 year of use to make sure the system operates correctly. Notifications will show in the GCI screen when it is time to replace the sensor. These notifications will prompt that a sensor will expire soon, 30 days and 7 days before expiration. Once the expiration takes place, the GCI will show that heart rate and respiratory rate will not be measured, and the customer should contact their Hillrom representative to replace the sensor.